everyone. It's Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Minnie.
It's Kuan Yin. It's New Year's Eve.
Oh,
We
yay.
got some more English today.
Yay.
Our story is day 2 of What's in a Name.
那我们今天名字大哉问第2天，准备好学完跨年了吗？
So yesterday we talked about how a name can affect your life, both positively and negatively.
名字可以正向、负向的影响你的人生哦。
That's why I tell everyone my name is Chris Coolski, so everyone knows I'm so cool. Right?
Yeah.
That's why you know I'm cool, right?
Yeah.
So in America, there was this really famous boxer, and his name was George Foreman. George Foreman is very famous, and he had 13 children.
OK， 所以 George
Foreman
是一个 boxer， 他是一个打拳击的，他有13个小孩。
That's right. And I just want to kind of talk about the names and why he gave them these names. So he had 7 daughters.
他有7个女儿。
That's right. Their names are
第一个是
Natalia,
第二个
Leola,
第3个
Frida,
第4个
Michi,
第5
Isabella,
6
and then there's more girls, but ready for the boys? Ready?
第6个是男的咯。
We're going to do all the boys after this, right?
Oh, okay.
这是好多名字, right?
OK， 第6个
First boy, George. Second boy, George. Third boy, George. Fourth boy, George. Fifth boy, George. Oh, and he had one more daughter, Georgia. I'm 100% serious. He had 5 boys. He named them all George Foreman. Why? Because he says, I worked really hard to become a famous boxer, and everybody loves me. He knows that he's well-loved. He's really well-liked. Everybody likes him. So he wanted to give that power to his sons because he knew his name was powerful. And people think of him as the super strong boxer. So I want to give all my boys this name, George Foreman.
好哦，所以就是一个很自恋的爸爸的意思。他把他儿子的名字取名叫 George， 因为他说我很有名，大家觉得我很强壮，我很厉害，所以我要把这个有名、厉害、强壮的这个 legacy 继续传承下去。
But also, 也不是太骄傲的感觉，不要误会他的意思 ，because 他是蛮老的人 ，so 他小时候，很多美国人就是对着他，他是黑人 ，they would treat him badly, because he was black. So he became this really famous, strong, tough boxer that everybody loved. And he wanted people to have that love for him, for his sons, because he was afraid they wouldn't be nice to him because he was black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 不一样的意思，对不对? All right? Yeah. All right, let's get ready for someone else to read the story.
What's in a name? There are 3 scientific studies that show how names can affect people's lives. In one study in Germany, researchers performed an experiment to see if people are more likely to assist those with more popular names. The researchers pretended to be an employer sending out replies to job applicants. They sent the emails to strangers to see how they would react to receiving the message meant for someone else. Some people replied to these emails to correct the mistakes and help the applicants, while others ignored the emails altogether. The results showed that when applicants with different names were applying for the same kinds of jobs, people were more likely to help the applicants with names that sounded more positive. In another study in Beijing, the goal was to observe if there might be a connection between so-called bad names and crime. The study showed that people with names that are considered less warm or moral would be more likely to commit a crime in the future. In still another study, researchers studied the relationship between names and career choices. They found that people with unique names were more likely to choose unusual career paths. In Shakespeare's famous play Romeo and Juliet, the author poses the question, what's in a name? Judging by the studies mentioned, we can confidently answer that it's quite a lot indeed.
All right, welcome back, and let's check out the paragraph. It begins, there are 3 scientific studies that show how names can affect people's lives.
IC 画底线，我要抢 Chris 的词，因为 IC 它是形容词的屁股。
Yeah, boy.
OK， 所以有3个科学研究呈现名字如何影响人们的生活。
Xiaoxin here, we would not say research in this sentence. So yes, scientific is our adjective, but we would not say there are 3 research that show why research is uncountable.
所以 research 是不可数名词哦。
That's right.
所以这边我们不会用，因为前面是 are 嘛，所以后面不可以用。
And we have 3, right? It's 可数3个, right? So we might say 3 pieces of research, but 这边just a scientific studies 比较自然. Yeah. Next sentence says, in one study in Germany, researchers performed an experiment to see if people are more likely to assist those people with more popular names.
所以在一个德国的研究里面，研究人员进行了一个实验，观察人们是否比较愿意协助名字比较受欢迎的人。
Let's continue. The researchers pretended to be an employer sending out replies to job applicants.
所以研究人员假装他们是在回应求职者的这些员工。
Cool. It begins, they sent the emails to strangers to see how they would react to receiving the message meant for someone else.
所以他们发送电邮给陌生人，以观察他们收到应该给别人的讯息的时候，他会有什么反应？
All right, be careful here and underline. Underline, then highlight, and then use your red pen on react to receiving, okay? Because react is a verb, right? And so we're thinking, like verb to verb. Like to play, 不是 like to playing, right? So that's because this react to is we have a phrase here. And after to, it's actually a preposition, okay? So react to receiving. 你确定你画到这个 react to, 而且要加 ing.
所以通常我们都讲 to 加原形动词，对不对？但是有几个例外。那 react to 它就是对什么事情做出反应，所以它的这个 to 它其实不是 to 加 ing 的 to， 它是介系词的 to， 所以我们后面的动词就要把它变成名词的形式，动名词 ing。
All right, and the sentence before, I wanted to say something too. Just said the researchers pretended to be, right? This is a grammar called the shortened past continuous, and this is pretty tricky, but we do like to use it a lot in English. It takes a long sentence, and then just a 基本过去式。然后后面 you have a past continuous 过去进行，but 你会去掉那个句子，你会去掉那个 be verb 的 was were， 你就留下来 VING, okay? So 我们会分别这个句子 right? The researchers pretended to be an employer. 句号 They were sending out replies. 我们去掉 they and were 就变成 an employer sending out replies.
它其实就是有点像是主动式、主动的写法，省略主词跟 be 动词直接接上去。
Let's continue. Some people replied to these emails to correct the mistakes and help the applicants, while others ignored the emails altogether.
那有些人回应这些电邮，然后修正其中的错误，然后再来帮助其他求职者。然后其他人呢，就有一些人就全然不理会这些邮件，这样子。
Okay, so this is all together, and sometimes you'll see this as ALL space together. This all together just means completely.
完全的。
Yeah. The results showed that when applicants with different names were applying for the same kinds of jobs, people were more likely to help the applicants with names that sounded more positive.
所以根据这样的研究结果就显示说，不同姓名的求职者在应征同样类型的工作的时候，人们比较可能协助名字听起来比较正面的那种求职者。
Sure. Okay. Okay. I believe it. They're smarter than me, I suppose. Right? So actually, The Simpsons kind of looked at this idea too many years ago. Many years ago. I was probably in junior high school. The main character in The Simpsons is a big fat guy named Homer Simpson. And people the writers of the cartoon started to think that the name Homer kind of became associated with stupid.
所以辛普森家族 这个卡通，它的里面有一个主要的角色，就是比较大只那个人，他就叫做 Homer。那 Homer 就被大家觉得说这个名字就是有一种大口袋，然后笨笨的感觉。
That's exactly right. And so the writers of The Simpsons made an episode where Homer changed his name to Max Power.
所以 Homer 呢，这个大口袋他就改名字，辛普森做了一集专门来讲他改名字，改成 Max Power 最大的能量。
That's right. And so he tried for a new job. He wrote a resume. He kind of like people treated Homer differently because his name was Max Power. But it kind of was trouble when his own family, they know Homer, they understand Homer. Homer wanted them to treat him differently. He's like, no, I'm not Homer anymore. I'm Max Power. And his family didn't like that. And they kind of explore, what does your name mean? And what do people think about you because of your name?
所以这个辛普森家庭这一集，他在改成 Max Power 之后呢，他就求职就已经比较顺利了吧？可是他的全家人还是觉得对他的名字觉得有点别扭。所以如果大家要去看这一集，应该可以找关键字就是 Max Power 找得到吧
Homer Simpson, Max Power, and you can find it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get ready for our next paragraph. Okay, friends, welcome back, and let's begin our second and third and fourth paragraphs in another study in Beijing. The goal was to observe if there might be a connection between the so-called bad names and crime.
那在另外一个在北京进行的研究的目标是观察说所谓的坏的这个名字和犯罪之间有没有什么关系。
So places like Beijing have kind of a weird sound in English. How do you make it? It sounds like sh, sh, sh. 然后你加那个 J 的发音 like z. And that's the Beijing sound. SHJ. You can even write that above there if you really care about saying Beijing really fluently in English.
But 我这边要跟学生讲，其实基本上我们会讲中文，如果是一个直译的字，你直接讲北京也是非常可以的哦。
Yeah, to be in Taiwan. Like in Taiwan, I never say Beijing. But if you do go to America or Canada, people might be confused. American and Canadian pronunciation of China and Taiwan places is terrible. So just be ready for that. All right, let's continue. The study showed that people with names that are considered less warm or moral would be more likely to commit a crime in the future.
那这一份研究显示说，有着被认为比较不温暖或者是不 moral 不正直、没有道德的名字呢，这些人未来比较可能犯下这些罪案。
So, when we say commit a crime, 小心你要背好这个 commit a crime. We don't say do a crime. That's right. I know you really want to say do a crime, but we don't say that. And it's not okay to say it. Foreigners would feel it's really unnatural.
那 commit 这个动词可以记一下，你犯任何罪基本上都用 commit。例如像最常见的，但是永远不要做的就是自杀，它其实是一种罪，我们会说 commit suicide 一样的意思。
Commit means something you can't change easily. So, for example, I'm married, she's married, we are in committed relationship.
Yeah.
We're married, and it's hard to, we're not married, but we are married people, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to break a marriage. Is it impossible? No, it's not, but you can do it, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
So you commit suicide. It's really hard to not be dead, right?
所以跟 commit 这个字有关系。老师刚刚有讲，结婚或我们会说 commitment， 对不对？就是你许下一个承诺，不容易被改变的东西，我们就可以用 commit 这个动词。
Archie, in this sentence, we have considered less warm or moral. We won't say fewer here. This is a negative, but we won't say fewer. Why? Well, woman, 有没有 uncountable, ma? Not really. We have adjectives. And adjectives in English we feel are uncountable. Warm, moral.
所以这边比较没有温度，比较不正直。这个温度跟正直，我们这边是形容词嘛，所以我们会用 less， 因为你就把它的观念想成是好像是 less 加上不可数名词的感觉。
All right, let's continue. In still another study, researchers studied the relationship between names and career choices. Oh, I love this.
所以呢，在另外一个研究之中，研究人员他剖析名字和职业选择之间的这种关系。
Okay. This is called nominative determinism. That means your name, your job, and your name have a relationship. So in America, and this one is a little bit kombu, but this is a real one. I used to take my cats in America to a vet. The vet, Soe, was named Dr. Killwald.
Oh my god.
Kill 杀掉, right? This sounds terrible. But Dr. Killwald was a really good vet. Killwald, W-A-L-D. I think that's German. But that 前面 is kill.
Yeah.
Like you're going to take your pet to someone named Dr. Kill?
Yeah. 兽医的名字然后里面有个杀
Yeah, that's not good, right? But Dr. Killwald was actually a really good vet. And
Okay.
I didn't pick on Dr. Killwald, but I used to kind of think about it.
In your head, right?
Yeah, kind of funny to me. I was like, so let's continue here. They found that people with unique names were more likely to choose unusual career paths.
他们发现有特殊名字的人比较可能会选择比较特别独特的职业生涯
So there was this guy in a fire department in
消防人员
in America. His name was Les McBurney.
他的名字叫 Les McBurney Burn 那个字是燃烧嘛然后他是一个消防员
So Les, so I saw it. It's a good one.
对
There's a librarian.
一个图书管理员
His name is Wilbur Bookendorf.
所以他的名字叫 Wilbur Bookendorf 又有 book 又有 dorf
But this is my favorite. Ready? There's a chef.
有一个厨师
His name is Tom Kitchen.
他的名字有 kitchen 厨房在里面
Tom Kitchen. I like that.
感觉好像出生他就要做那个职业耶
There was a really funny one. There was a woman, what's it called? A cashier. What's that in Chinese? Cashier.
收银员
And her name was Kashira.
Wow, that's a good one too. Kashira.
Yeah, so she was a cashier. Her name was Kashira. I love that.
哦，所以 Chris 老师是老师，你的名字应该要是
Lao Chris. That's old Chris.
Lao Chris or talkative Chris, something like
Yeah,
that.
都醉的。I讲过了。Our final paragraph says, in Shakespeare's famous play, Romeo and Juliet, the author poses the question, what's in a name? Judging by the studies mentioned, we can confidently answer that it's quite a lot indeed.
那在莎士比亚有名的戏剧里面，我们看到 Romeo and Juliet 它是斜体字哦，就代表它是一个剧名 ，OK？ 那在这个里面，这个剧里面，剧作家问大家这个问题：名字有何意义？根据本文提到的研究，我们可以很肯定的说，这意义啊，可大了呢。
Now, just before we go to Vocab Review, it is Kwadian. It is the end of the year, and I want to thank you. And I really mean this. I am not a cynical person. I want to thank you for spending time with us all year long during all this crazy stuff. And I mean that for all of our friends that enjoy English school, both on the camera and off. We want to thank you guys, and we really hope you continue watching. I genuinely like doing this. I love working with you guys, and I hope you do too.
所以12月31号 Chris 老师很感性的要感谢大家这一年来的陪伴。2021年是一个很疯狂的一年，但谢谢大家持续的观看，还是要继续关注我们哦。不管我们在这边代表幕前幕后所有工作人员跟大家说声 Thank you.
Thank you. And let's get ready for Vocab Review. All right, vocab time. Here we go. Number 1, our adjective, scientific.
Scientific 这边是形容词，代表科学的。
Next, we have a verb, to pretend.
假装就叫做 pretend。
Number 3, another verb, to ignore.
忽略、忽视就叫 ignore。
Next, we have to apply for something.
Apply for something 代表你要申请什么东西，注意哦，介系词是 for。
And then the next sentence, we use the noun form called an applicant.
Applicant 就是申请人。
Next, we have an adjective, moral.
Moral 就是代表正直的、道德的。
But we also can make that a noun. You can talk about morals or amoral. The opposite is immoral, I-M-M-O-R-A-L.
它的不道德的前面加 I-M 的字首就可以了。
Number 6, please don't do this. To commit a crime.
不要做的事情就叫犯罪。注意，犯罪 crime 是罪的名词，犯下罪行的犯是 commit。
Next, we have a noun. It means job, a career.
代表你的职业。
And lastly, we have to pose a question.
问了这个问题，那这个 pose 有点像是摆姿势，有没有？所以它 pose a question 感觉就是丢出了一个问题给你。
I want to pose a question to you guys. What was your favorite episode from Enjoy English School this year? Let us know in those comments down here. Or say anything you want. Tell us something in the comments. I want to hear it.
留言告诉我们你们2021年最喜欢的一集是什么呢？或者是你有什么想要跟我们的分享呢？欢迎告诉我们哦。
跨年快乐. We'll see you next year in 2022 for Enjoy English School. I am Chris Gorski.
I am Minnie.
We'll see you next year. Bye-bye.